Good morning. How are we doing this fine and rainy Monday morning? Um, I came across a magazine over the weekend called Transmag. It's a publication in the United States, which we can actually get into in the UK in digital format, in PDF format. It's only five a month, so I think it's well worth purchasing, especially if you're into this sort of thing. I'll put the link to it in the bio. But they make a very good point, which I, to be honest, never really thought about before. And I mean, as a cis person, maybe it's obvious why I didn't. But I think one of the sort of headline features there is talking about how if you're a trans person and want any form of surgery, that there's an element of gatekeeping to that, where you have to go through a medical process to prove your legitimacy and to get said operation or surgery or you know whatever it might be process. Whereas if I want to do a say cosmetic surgery as a cis person, that's not the case, and they were arguing as to why that is. Why is it that a cis person knows what they want to look like and they have full autonomy of the body, and it's considered that cosmetic surgery is elective, so therefore I'm only doing it to enhance my body. But if I'm a trans person, that's not the case, and I'm sort of pathologized, and there's a lot of gatekeeping involved into that. And just to be clear, we're not talking about cosmetic surgery following an accident where I need to kind of reconstruct bits of my body. We're talking about surgery which essentially makes me feel better about myself, whatever that may be. And it's a very interesting point, I think. And I think there's two things that the article sort of brings through, and again, I encourage you to read it. And I think one is the fact that a lot of trans people suffer with gatekeeping in the medical profession, partly because of processes and insurance policies and all sorts of other stuff, but partly because their condition is pathologized. It's considered to be a condition, and it's not actually viewed of people wanting to basically be more congruent and be more genuine, which in fact people who do cosmetic surgery want as well. And it's interesting that one feature is pathologized, one feature isn't. And I think it's also interesting that trans people have had to legitimize their condition traditionally, whereas if I feel unhappy about my body and I want to change bits of it, as a cis person, that's not the case. I don't have to justify that in any sort of way. I think it's a very interesting point, and it's kind of another example of the microaggressions, the gatekeeping, the oppression, if you like, medical oppression that trans people have to go through. And again, I confess, it's not a point I'd really thought about, but I'm really grateful to reading this mag that's actually brought it into my attention. So, have a good rest of the week, and take care.